Hi, all my creative friends. How you guys doing out there? Woohoo!
I'm in a pretty good mood today for just whatever reason. It was kind of a pretty day.
Didn't have a whole lot that I had to get done, so it was kind of a nice leisurely day, which is nice. I even prepped for this. It was fun. You know, not getting on air going, well, I think I kind of know what I'm going to do. So this is going to be on one page. We're going to make a tea pocket with it. Okay, so that's going to be here. And then on this page, I made a mat, and we're going to do a waterfall, and we're going to use this as our closure. So, yeah. I got to get this apart, though. See, there's a centerpiece, so that's why I chose this one. I'm just going to have to figure out how to make it all work, how I want it. I want it the way I want it. I'm sure you guys all know about that. Okay, so what I did was I took two 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, and I cut them in half both ways. So I ended up with 5.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, so a little smaller than a 4 by 6, but still workable. And then I just took the 1/4 inch off for a flap to hold, to hold this on. But I want to do, I don't want to put flaps on here, so we're going to cut so that we can put our flaps in, and they're invisible flaps. I don't know. I don't remember what we called it. This has been done millions of times, but I don't remember what it's actually called. Anyway, so moving right along, you are going to need your, I got 8 here. I think that's all we'll use, but we may get a few others in there. Who knows until we get to that point. You're going to need a mat for your page. Now, if your page that you're working on is larger than this one, you can certainly make these 4 by 6s. I just was trying to make the most of my 8.5 by 11 pages, so I figured by doing this that would be great. The only thing is I am seeing that some of them are a little longer than others, so I'm going to take those and take a little, so there's 4 one way and 4 another. Of course, I have to get them out of the little, to see if they're actually, yeah, see, there's some that are shorter than others. I don't exactly know how I did that. I guess I didn't get a true 5.5 cut or a 4 1/4 cut is all I can think. So I need to take a little bit off of these. There we go, and that should bring these all in line, because it is a lot easier if you're using the same size. A lot easier. Okay, and then I have 2 shorter ones and 2 longer ones on this. So yeah, my cuts weren't perfect. Oh well. You know, what are you going to do? Okay, so now this is still a titch longer. Not much. Okay. Yeah, it's always easier, and then I think these are taller by a little bit. So, there we go. We've got, gonna have everything matching party. Yeah, it's much better. Okay. All right, so, going to need, and I guess I have it out in the other room. Of course. Of course. I need my, I really do, my craft knife. But I can use this craft knife. It works. Finger craft knife. Okay, so I have a grid here that I'm going to use to help me, and of course this is my a good cutting mat. And as you can see, these are going to kind of center on here pretty well. I don't want to go too terribly high to start off my first one. So my first one is going to be right on this. Let me flip this around this way. Okay, so I have that. And I'm going to put this in the center. Pull it away just a little bit so I can actually get my pencil down in there. And my sharp pencil, I'm going to make a mark right where the paper needs to be cut to. Right there. That moved just a little bit. And right there. Okay. All right. So, now I'm going to get my little cutter. Oops, wrong way. I always do that. And get this set up. And cut from, yep, that went through all the way. Then we're going to fold our little flap. We're going to trim just a little bit off the corners, just a little triangle. It helps it to go in. And we're going to slide it in. You might have to open it up just a little bit more. Let's see. It's going to fit right down there, and voila. Okay, so then when you open it, you don't see the flap on the page because it's underneath. So now I'm going to take some glue. There we go. Glue that down. And then so that the top piece doesn't really have anything to hold on to right at the moment. So we're going to take, and this just helps stabilize everything. I'm going to take just past where I cut so that I can get some tape on that part. And that will reinforce all of the little cuts in there, plus it keeps the top piece done. Okay? So there's my first one. I'm going to realign everything. And now we're going to do the next one. Where's my ruler? Right here. Okay. So, I think I'm going to do it about every half inch. So right there. Take another one, line it up with the first one. Make sure you got it all nice and pretty. And then you're going to make a mark. And make a mark. And we're just going to keep doing this. Ow. All the way down. Don't let your ruler move. Up. Darn it. I didn't stay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that I will have to fix. Because it did not stay where I wanted it to stay. my cutter went off of the edge of the ruler. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold this. Fold our flap. Give it a little snip. Let's put it under. Make sure you're lining them up. Fold it over. Fold both of them over. Flip it around. Put some glue down. And I'm just going to rip this little piece off. It's not going to hurt anything because we're going to put tape over that. And my tape's right here. There we go. So that is, I probably could fit another one, but that's a lot of stuff right there, and I don't want it to be too bulky. So let's see, if I do another 1/2 inch here, let's do it this way. If I do a 1/2 inch there, and a 1/2 inch here. I'm putting the score line on the 1/2 inch. Okay. And that is 2 inches. So on this side, I have 1, 2 inches. So I'm going to do 4 on the top, and then start at the bottom and go up 4, okay? So you've seen me do these two, and then all I'm going to do is the exact same thing starting from the back. Center in your grid, if you have a grid. If you don't have a grid, you know, even if you just have grid paper, or if you're a journal maker and you've got the columns that you do, you know, like people used to write all of their bookkeeping stuff in, those are all straight lines, so you can use that as a grid if you don't have this kind of thing. Okay, and then how far up from the front did I do? A 1/2 inch. So we're going to do just what we did. Let's get this centered. Yep, that looks good. I'm going to put my ruler where I want my line to be cut. And then I'm just going to make a mark at the end over here and a mark at the end of this one, this side. Then I'm going to cut, trying to keep it against my ruler from mark to mark. Yep. Fold. Clip. The clipping really helps you put this in. So if you don't normally clip, you might find it easier to clip your ends when you're doing this kind of thing, because it really helps that one end go in easier. Alright, here we go. We got them both in. Can I get it all the way down? Yes, I can. Fold it. Now, the big test. Yep. Very nice. And we're just going to pick this up, flip her over. glue her down, and tape her down. So I'm going to go ahead and get off and finish these up, because you don't need to sit me watch me do this, what, 5 more times? Boring! So, once I get this done, I will come back. Look how cute that's going to be, though, with the nice border and then the even on the sides. And you can, interchange them. You can do all 4 on the bottom and then all 4 on the top, or you can, once we get them all in, you can flip, flap, flip, flap, flip, flap. So it's all up to you how you want to do that part of it. All right? So I'm going to finish this, and I'll be back in a moment. In a moment. I don't know what I was going to say. I'll be back. Okay, well, silly me. I could only do 3 on the top, and I did the 4 on the bottom. You can do it either way you want, or you can cut one to be shorter, but I just ran out of room. So this third one on the top is actually only cut at about 1/4 of an inch instead of 1/2 an inch. I just lined it up so that I had a little bit, 1/8 of an inch between the bottom row and this one, so that it would lay nicely. And, and then there'll also be a nice room for a picture right here. I'm not going to put a pocket or anything because it's already fat, with all of these pages. So because there's 4 on the bottom, I am starting the bottom first and just doing it this way. But you can do it any way you want. You can do them all on top of the other one. You can just do them all straight down, and you'd probably have more that way. You could do more. But the closure that I'm going to use, now what I did here is I did take my little finger cutter and I cut off the little nodules the best I could. And then, of course, my favorite tool, and I sanded everything down, and I sanded it down where a little extra so that this would fit in there nicely, because before it was very snug, but now it's it's in and out. It won't really stay by itself, because I needed room for some ribbon. You're also going to need 2 pieces, whatever ribbon you want to use. 2 pieces about 9 inches long and 2 pieces about 6 inches long, and 4 brads. Okay? So, I want to first place this bigger piece of the chipboard, and I'm thinking, at first I thought I wanted it to be over the page, centered at wherever this page was, and that would look nice. It would look nice. But if I center it, so you can do it whichever way you want. I'm just eyeballing it. Let's see, how close am I here? Yeah, I'm pretty darn close to center right there. So if I center it, then I'm not going to get part of a picture here and part of a picture here when you take off this part to move this part. I don't know. It doesn't really make a whole hill of beans, really, which way you do it. But it will make a difference in the length that you'll need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take, let's see, I'm going to take my pencil and just lightly trace. Oh, and that reminds me something else I have to do before I start doing this. And I'm just going to lightly trace so I can put this right back each time exactly where I want it. I need to find some paper that is going to be large enough for these. This will work for this one. And I'm going to flip it around to the side that I'm going to want to use. And I just want to use the least amount of paper as possible. And I'm going to draw a circle around, draw an edge around and cut it out. And I'm basically cutting off the pencil mark. But you want the side that you're going to use on the back of your chipboard pieces to be facing down when you go to sketch around it, okay? Because that is the side that is going to be seen, and you want it to line up with your item. Let's see, I think it goes this way. Yeah, there we go. And then if there's any overhang once you get it glued, then just use your craft knife, whatever you have. You can even use your scissors to, you can even use the file to file down that, a little bit so that it all melds together. And of course, inking the sides will definitely help blend all that in. Okay, now this won't work on the other one. The thinner the thing is, the better. This will work for this. And there's no front side or back side on this one, so I'm just going to... And it's better with a sharp pencil so that you can get into the edge as much as possible so you get the best cut size. Alright, I'm going to put back on here, and I'm going to put a T for top. And that way I know that this is the way it's going to fit for me. So, just a little cut in here. I have been working on my Christmas journal and mini album that go into the Christmas display box that I did. So I am almost done with those, and then I will have a walkthrough and it will be put on Etsy. So I know there was one lady that was very excited about when I was going to put it on Etsy. So probably by the end of this week, it will be up on Etsy for whomever wants it. So, just take your time with this. The nicer the cut, the nicer everything's going to be looking. I'm just going to cut this. Throw that little piece away. Oh, I finally emptied my garbage can. Good Lord. I've been doing so much cleaning, and most of the time, I've been consolidating things, and if I had 2 or 3 different packets of ephemera from a from a paper line, I was consolidating all of them in one, so then I was throwing out the other 2 packages. Of course, any good packaging I kept, not to worry. And going through all that jewelry. And I had one lady suggest that some of it could go into giveaway bags or little thank you gifts for my Etsy and stuff. And so most of the stuff that I was throwing away, I wouldn't, I don't know. It's not anything I was going to use, so I just, just assume. So I need to be a little more wary of that so that I'm not throwing out things that somebody would really enjoy having. But I do give a lot of my stuff to the gal down the street from us. She has a little mobile home and a little like 2-car garage shed. So I guess it's not really little, but yeah, that's going to be just great for that. I'm going to ahead and erase that. I'll still be able to see it a little bit, but those will work. Okay. But yeah, so she is, she gives, if somebody in the neighborhood or in our area has like a fire or something, the churches all know. They just call her and say, okay, we've got this size girl, this size boy. They lost all the kitchen stuff. And she has things in big boxes and bins and stuff. So she has different areas. Now you're welcome to go in there and look around and get some stuff anytime. And she doesn't charge you. I've tried to pay, and no, you take it. I love doing this. This is, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you very much. And so, yeah, because, we're new to the area. So we were finding all these kind of things out about Miss Rita. She is such a special lady. So anyway, so yeah, most of my stuff goes to her. If I think somebody else can use it, or would need it, yeah, it all goes to her. So, all right, so this is what I'm thinking of, is having this like this wrapped around. And I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to do this without making it so thick that I won't be able to get this in. Okay, so far so good, and I can take it down more, but I think I'm going to work with this right at the moment and get these top two done. I do want them to be on top of each other. Okay. What do I want to do here? Okay, I don't want to thicken it around where this is going to go in. So I am going to, maybe I can clip these and keep them on. Can I get some tiny clips, please? Oh, I know where my tiny clips are, right here. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Okay, so this one, gonna go right here. And I didn't get the bottom one. Okay. Let's see if I can put it on the top. There. Okay, so there's that one. Make sure it's still going the way I want it to go. Yes. And then this one, right to this corner. All right, and let's get Okay, so we have that. And the first thing I'm going to do, if I can find it again, I swear it blends in so well. A big white circle, and I can't ever seem to see it. Okay, I am trying to slide it down underneath just a little bit, but I want it down the center because I don't want it sticking out. Just, okay. Let me just go ahead and pull a piece off of here because I want this to be straight. And if you get the sticky stuff on there and it's not straight, there we go. Okay. So then that will glue down on that. And then I will just fold it over where it needs to be folded so it has a finished end. See, so that one side does not need to be nearly as long as the other side. Well, let me wait. Let me wait. Let me go ahead and put this one down now. Lift this up. Slide this there we go. Okay, let's give it a little bit of a burnish. Okay. Now I am going to glue. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue. Just a little bit because I don't want it to bleed through. A little bit of glue on the top. And then I can put all I want on the bottom. Okay. I didn't press down on the top, but it's kind of making a icky thing anyway. I might have to put a little something right on that, which we can, no problem. But I just wanted this to hold now that I know where I need it. Okay, I think we're good. I think I can take these off. Oh, nope. Nope, it wasn't good. Dad, burn it. One side did great, the other side did not. I don't know if that's right where we need it. So let's get this back over here. Fit this where I have it. And that is going in the right direction. Okay. And this one is not in the right direction. But we fixed that. Okay. So those should be pretty well adhered. Okay. So now, how long? Okay, so I want this bottom piece to fill in this space. So I'm going to, oh, that won't work. Let's see. Get my, okay. Let's just cut this like that. Make sure, yeah, see, so it's gonna, still needs to be cut a little bit more so it doesn't come off the page. But I want it to fit right up into that corner because that's where I'm gonna put my brads. So then that is going to be like that. This is going to come up, and then I'm going to cover it. So actually, let's straighten this. I need to stop using those. So I'm just going to straighten this across. Okay, and then this will come back around. And be caught. And of course it doesn't need to be that long either. But let's go ahead and take the score tape off. Where's my pokey tool? This will work. Take the backing off of the score tape. I did hit record on everything, right? Yeah. Okay. And now let's make sure this goes down nice and straight. All right. And then I'm going to take another little piece of score tape onto the excess, which, yeah, you can cut it off, but it's not going to add that much bulk. Burnish. You can use glue, but you know, it always leaves such an ugly mark. And then just fold this back on itself. There we go. So there's one done. And then we're going to just attach that via the brads. Okay, so let's get this one cut where we want it. So I think right in the O area. Let's see where I've got it now. One there. Okay. Needs to be the other O area. Okay. Yeah, I think I can cut it just a teeny bit shorter. Not much more, but a teeny bit. Trying to get them to look somewhat even. Let's get all this cleaned up. Okay, so let's take this one off. Backing off the score tape. There we go. Line it up. Put a little piece on the back. And I'm just going to snip a little bit of that away. Okay. Take this backing off and fold it back on itself. All right, step one done. So I'm going to go ahead, but this could have been just a little bit. I tell you, if you don't have to, don't glue it down until you're ready, because I mean, I fixed it, but would be easier. Okay, so now I really do need a pokey tool, but let's see. Gonna put a brad right there, I think, but I need a pokey tool. I do have this one. I don't know if this will make a good hole or not. Right there. Okay. Push it through. Open it up. And give it a good press so it stays nice and tight. Okay. So there's that. And this one. Okay. Push down, pick this up, push it through. It makes a fairly nice hole. Stick a brad through. Alright, so there is the top of our closure. And there we go. And it is laying nicely, and it's laying right where I needed it to lay. Okay, so the other half of this is this piece. And this is just going to be singled because it still has to fit in here, but come to here. So what I'm first going to do is take a little bit of score tape, probably about an inch, put it on one of my 6-inch pieces. And I just want to fold this. See, I'm making it about a 1/2 inch back on itself. So I'm just using a little 1/2 inch and folding it back on itself. I still have a little bit of score tape, but that can usually be picked off or okay. And then I'm going to put that, you know, try and position it in the same position . Push that through, pull it out, sticky, and put a brad in there. There we go. One more. Okay, so we have that where we want it. And then we're going to do the same with this. I just need about 1 inch of tape. And using my grid, I'm just going to make it a 1/2 inch big. There we go. Take that one, try and have them on the same. See how this lines right up with this one, and this one lines up pretty well with that one. That's what we're looking for. Pull this back just a little bit, and then get my pokey tool. Not sure this is what anybody thought that this pokey tool would be used for, but it does work. Especially when you got all your other pokey tools in the other room. Okay. There we go. Okay. Pull this back here. Make sure we are lined up correctly. There we go. All right. So then I want to put this down. And I want those to stick to this, you know, one at a time. So I think I'm going to pull this one out first. This one is the one I've glued down just almost incorrectly. And the more I pull at it, the more it doesn't look quite as nice as I liked it. It really got some glue on the back there. Now I think I can get it where I want it. It pulled the paper away a little bit, so I'm going to have to compromise. Gonna have to compromise a smidge on this one, but that's okay. We will put something, but at least it's at where I like it better. Okay, so now I'm going to take some score tape and just here in the center, let's burnish. Okay, make sure we've got everything the way we like it. Oh, this needs to actually come up over the top before you put before we put the center down, because it is going to go, well, I could put it in from the bottom, couldn't I? I could totally put it in from the bottom. This is not glued down, so I can maneuver it around the way I want it. Hold it just like that. Get it lined up. Not quite tight though. Not that I want it like super, super tight. I do want a little bit of play. And I'm going to place this down. And then I'm going to push it down. Make sure that's stuck nicely and cut off the unneeded section. Yes, okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing. This under, line it up. Not really the same thing because I can't do that this time. Let's take a little bit of our score tape. Burnish it. Take it off. Just a little tricky. There we go. Okay, come off there. So now I know that I have it lined up where I want it. I'm going to lift this up. And I'm going to lay this down best I can. Is it still straight? Yep, it is. So let's set that down in there and on that one. Okay. And then all we're going to do is lift. And then we can look at all of our pictures. Bam, bam, there's 7 of them. Plus this one will give you 8. And close it down. Voila! Page is done. I love it. Just like that. Now let's get this cut. Okay. And the only other thing I had forgotten to do on this piece, that's the back, is cut out the center part. That's going to be pretty important. So I'm going to lay this on here and then take my pencil and then cut that out. Basically, when I start a cut, I kind of like to give myself some room. So I take the center out, and that's usually how I fussy cut, and then come up from underneath when you're working inside something like this. Just a little bit of fussy cutting. It wasn't too bad at all. Of course, I don't mind fussy cutting, but I noticed once in a while I have to wiggle my shoulders and relax my neck because I tense up, and then you don't get a good cut. So you do want to relax. So, you know, wiggle and put those scissors down sometimes and really stretch your hands. Let them rest for a little while, because it can get, you know, pretty intense if you're not taking care of yourself. There we go. All right. So now all I have to do is glue this down to hide all of that, and glue this down to hide all of that, and then I will ink my edges. So that is that page, guys. So I'm going to finish this up real quick, and then we'll do the tea pocket. Back in a second. Now we're going to work on the T pocket. So basically all we need is the piece that we're going to make the T pocket around and a piece of paper. And of course we need to know our measurements. But an easy way to do a T pocket without having to worry too much about measurements is first, I do have, let's see, this will work. I don't have to use this whole sheet. Okay, yeah, this will work just fine. So we're going to probably not have it near this high, but this is going to be my bottom piece, and I'm going to put a 1/2 inch score mark on my bottom. I'm going to fold that down. Let's go ahead and give it a nice score. Burnish. It's already got a nice score. Okay, I am going to close this. Well, I can't really. I do need it. I placed this page over, so I'm trying not to bump into it too much. Okay, so now we have our paper, and we can place our item down that we want to do the T pocket around. All right, and you know, it doesn't matter if you if you want to first figure out what you're going to need, but this is just way easier. So I know I have plenty of room because I do need to have a score mark on each side of this as well. So I'm going to center it. Now I did not. And I think after this, the next one that I do, I'll show you what I have left. Because all of the larger pages are coming now. So I'll show you what we have left. Just going to glue this down. Just center, ish. Just center-ish. And there we go. Okay, so we have that part down. The other thing that I want is I want a little bit of a border here. So I do have some strips pre-cut. Let's see if any of those will work for my border. So I have that one. What else do I have? I have that, which is really cute. I've got some seahorses. That would not be enough. It's too much alike. Okay, and there's the little fish. Guess that would go that way. I don't know. I think I'm liking this one the best. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now is when we're getting into the size that we're going to need. So I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to make a mark where I need this strip to, start and end. And I'm going to cut it off real quick where I put that mark. Ooh, I'm making a mess. I just swept in here. Ah! Yeah, isn't that funny? Oh, come on. Pick up. Thank you so much. Let me ink this. This can go into my little pieces. Save, 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 because we can use all of those with our little collage pages that we're going to do for some of these pieces in here. Okay, so now this is as wide as I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. There we go. And I'm just eyeballing it. That looks to be about right to me. Okay. So now, let's see. I'm going to score this right. Oops. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. What? What? The last one I did worked so much nicer. Okay, I'm moving it over a little bit. Get in the groove and stay there. There we go. Okay, so let's cut this little square off. And fold this over and burnish. There we go. And then we want to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to scooch this over a little. We can do it on here, but either way, there we go. That's a good spot right there. Because when I cut this, I did leave enough room on the page to have just a little bit of an edge folded. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fold this one. Again, we're going to cut off this little rectangle down at the bottom. And these can be shortened up if you so desire, but it's fine. Not all of it's going to be there. So now we have this little section that needs to go away. And I am just going to eyeball it. You can certainly use your cutter. You can use your straight edge, your craft knife, and your craft knife and your, ruler. Okay. And not super happy with that. Hold on. I just can't seem to get that to cut straight at all. There we go. And it's good. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. There we go. This is just such a quick and easy way to make a tea pocket that I have come up with. And then we're just going to cut these little buggers, you know, little bits of triangle here. Just a little off so that it doesn't show. Now, the top here I'm going to do with my cutter, and I'm going to just leave myself a little bit of an edge. Let's back it up just a smidge. Okay. Well, it's nice and even. Okay, so there is your tea pocket. You have your 2 pieces here and your bottom piece, and then your file folder, your whatever will fit in there as long as you cut it the right size. So that is it, guys. Then you just glue it down. So there is the tea pocket and our waterfall with cool closure. And then the only thing that I'm doing is it's this wave, so I'm going to be putting this lace on. So that will be on there as well. But there you guys go. And then I do need to cover this. So what do I want to cover it with? Let's see. And these, for right now, I'm going to leave blank. Because the picture will totally encompass all of them. I may come back and decorate these two if I have enough paper. If I don't, I think leaving it that way with all the other decoration, I think is fine. I think it looks good. Do I like this? Not at all. Do I like this? Not at all. I think that horseshoe paper is great in little bits. Little bits. Let's see. Trying to, and I know I won't like that. Wow. Oh, that looks pretty nice. I do have a few, let's see. I got one of those. Like I said, next time I will show you what I have left. Okay, so I have it in the smaller print or the larger print. And I think it does look better with the smaller print. So, we will be using some of this larger print paper, just going to have to. But with this smaller piece here, I think the smaller print. So, I'm just going to mat the page and then put this down. So, that's it, guys, for this time. We're getting there. So, this starts our 3rd page. So we have the center spread, which I do have a pocket in here already. And then that is the end of the 3rd page. And then the 4th page has 2 flaps and then 2 of these. And there's a pocket on the outside and a little waterfall on the inside. And then this page that I have a pocket on, and then the back. And of course, I can do something, well, not really. There's really not, this back piece lays flush. So, I might just put a single pocket down, you know, big pocket down where you can put some other pictures or some ephemera or something like that in. And the front one, I'm not putting anything. So, that is where we're at. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, till next time, guys. Bye. Thank you. Be kind to each other, and I hope you make something you love. Bye.